This is THV 11 News at 6.
This holiday week, a busy one for the Little Rock Fire Department. Just 6 days after a Christmas Eve, fire crews work again this morning, knocking down the flames in an historic address. Hello, thank you for joining us here at 6. I am Hoyt.
And I'm Brooke Buckner. Faith has the night off. That fire in the heart of the Governor's Mansion Historic District is raising concerns. THV 11's Maya Ellison has more on what happened amid this very dry December.
Located in Little Rock's historic district, a home with more than 120 years of history, nearly lost after a fire broke out Tuesday morning.
I just turned down 13th after I took the exit to get here to work, and right before I saw it, I saw the big plume of smoke coming. And
Reagan Pyron was one of several people who called 911, even sharing this video with THV 11. Capturing the fire as flames tore through the home.
It was surreal. I mean, it felt like a it felt like it was something out of a movie.
Firefighters say they arrived just before 7 a.m., quickly putting out the fire and returning hours later to make sure everything was clear.
Had no utilities, no electric, no gas, no water. There were no ignition sources except outside influences.
But through the ash and soot, this home's history still stands.
That it was built right around the turn of the century, so we're looking at sometime between 1890 and 1910.
Known as the Pickard Rental House, Morgan Weithman with the Quapaw Quarter Association says it was passed down through generations, making its damage a loss felt well beyond the property line.
It is a little alarming to see the amount of house fires that we've had, but it's cold. We know that when it gets really cold at night, folks are usually just trying to look for a place to warm up.
This fire, along with another at the old Rotary Club building, has left many asking why these fires keep happening. But fire officials say it's a reminder of why community awareness and available resources matter.
With the weather change, they'll get into the vacant or unoccupied structures and light a fire to keep warm.
This is a testament of why those warming centers are so important. If that was the case, if it was somebody that was just seeking shelter and trying to stay warm.
In Little Rock, Maya Ellison, THV 11 News.
Now, we caught up with the homeowner. She declined to speak with us on camera, but she did say that the home has been passed down through her family for years. If you live near vacant properties, fire officials there ask you to keep an eye out and report anything you see that could be suspicious.
Dry December, huh? Not rain
Dry
anymore.
December, not much rain at all. Less than an inch has been spread out through the whole month, statewide really. And we're going to talk about any chance we have a little bit later. But I want you to imagine, if you will, a panda on your screen. There you go. That's a panda right there.
Yeah, it's a panda.
It's a panda.
I'm having a hard time.
Tom, that's not a panda.
It's not a panda.
I know it's not, but I'm
Well,
trying
pretend
to
like it is.
I'm sorry,
I'm trying to pretend.
It is a panda, glow wild, okay? It could be a snowman, but it's also a panda. This is tonight's forecast if you're heading out to the zoo. They've got a night tonight, a special New Year's Eve thing happening tomorrow night. And if you are indeed going out, you will want to bundle up with temperatures dropping off into the middle 30s by 9 o'clock. Current temperature, Little Rock is at 39 degrees. 42 Pine Bluff, 34 Jonesboro, 36 in Clinton. So it is cold, it's cooling off, but some good news on the way. We're going to have a nice warm up after we bottom out in the low 30s. Tomorrow's high in the upper 50s, close to 60 degrees. I'll have the rest of your New Year's forecast here in a few minutes.
You want to build a panda?
Yes.
Hey, as we're getting ready for all of the fireworks shows here to ring in the new year, it's an important time to remind you about the new Arkansas law that changes how long vendors are allowed to sell fireworks. There are two selling periods. One's in the summer, obviously, and then another one here in the winter.
And during the summer, you can sell fireworks from June 13th to July 10th. And during the winter, they can be sold from December 10th till January 5th. But remember, when setting off fireworks this year, make sure you stay safe.
Including safety on the road. State police, local agencies out watching for drunk drivers, all part of the nationwide Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. One local towing company plans to help limit the number of people on the road who might have been drinking. J-Hook
Towing is once again offering free rides for people and their cars, just as they've done in the past several years.
We're going to tow you and your car home for free. And the state police and all the local police authorities, they're going to be out working traffic. So you've got a couple choices. You can call us, we'll get you home for free, or you'll probably go to jail if you get stopped.
You can give them a call at the number there on your screen or visit their website, jhooktowing.com.
About 6 people taking part in early voting for 2 special elections across the state, one here in central Arkansas, the other one out in the River Valley.
And as you prepare to cast your ballot, we want to make sure you have all the information you need. Let's start with the one closer to home in North Little Rock and Sherwood, the race for House District 70. Democratic voters there have until Monday, January 6th to choose their nominee for House District 70. 2 locations are available for early voting. One of those in Pulaski County. It's the regional building in Little Rock. The other is First Christian Church of Sherwood. They're open from 8 to 5, but keep in mind there is not early voting on weekends or on New Year's Day.
Monday the 5th with Election Day on the 6th. Those are the 3 candidates looking to fill the seat left vacant after former Republican Representative Carlton Wing resigned about 2 months ago. Right now, voters are deciding between the 2 Democratic candidates, Cordelia Smith Johnson, Alex Holliday, on the both sides of your screen. The winner of those 2 will face Republican Bo Renshaw in March.
Over in District 26 in the River Valley, there are 6 candidates looking to fill the seat left vacant by the death of Gary Stubblefield. There are 5 Republicans on the special primary ballot, with 1 independent set to face the winner in March. All of the candidates say they are opposed to locating a proposed 3,000-bed prison in Franklin County in that district. For info on both races, head to our website, thv11.com.
Well, the fancy new parking meters in downtown Hot Springs have Spa City business owners asking for a break. THV11's Tanya Motorzycki looks into their complaints about free spots for their employees and whether they'll ever open up.
Every year, people around the world visit Hot Springs for its history in horse racing. People like Angela Rodriguez and her family.
We are from Mexico. We are just here for vacations, for fun.
But the people who work downtown say they're paying the price.
I have people that come in all the time and they're like, oh, we have to hurry up. Our meter's about ready to be up. We're going to get fined. And that kills our business.
While tourists like Rodriguez don't mind paying, manager of It's About Rocks, Rebecca King, says the parking meters added by the city about a year ago are deterring locals from coming downtown. And that's hitting businesses like King's hard.
A few thousand a month.
But it's not just revenue they're losing.
I work 13-hour shifts and then I work 10-hour shifts. And, you know, you're sitting there and you're like a quarter an hour. Well, add up a quarter an hour when you're working 50+ hours a week and see how fast it can add up. Then multiply it by the amount of staff members you have and see how much more that also takes a toll on the business.
While downtown employees have to pay for parking, they do get a 75% discount in certain areas. If they don't want to pay, workers have to find the nearest free spot, which could be hard to find and far from their destination. King says that then creates a safety concern.
This is where we can actually park for free.
And we just walked, you would say about 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
And if you look around, well, there's no lights back here, but there's a spotlight in the front. Well, there's tape on it. That doesn't work. Never mind.
Hot Springs Board of Directors Dudley Webb says the goal for the meters has always been to bring in revenue to build a parking garage to hopefully alleviate some of those concerns. But there's been a bump in the road.
What should have been after a year, we should have netted somewhere around $1.5 million. And we're going to be lucky if we just hit 600,000. So I don't think the path that we're on is going to get us to where we need to go to put a parking garage.
He knows businesses are hurting and says if his colleagues with the city can't come up with a plan to fix it,
that if we can't get it right, let's just do away with it.
Whether the city taps the brakes or puts the meters in park remains to be seen.
Even though this is tourist driven?
Exactly.
In Hot Springs, I'm Tanya Motorzycki, THV 11 News.
All right, Tanya, thank you. Right now, as we speak, the Hot Springs Board of Directors are holding a work session on parking, trying to address some of those concerns, see if they can get any resolution. We'll keep you updated as they learn more.
Governor Sanders has announced the state will receive $208 million in funding from the Trump administration's Rural Health Transformation Program, which aims to offset budget cuts to rural hospitals. She says the funding will help grow telehealth services, improve preventative care, and recruit healthcare workers to rural communities. The program will distribute billions nationwide over the next 5 years, with more funding rounds still to come.
Meanwhile, health officials continue to monitor whooping cough cases here in the state. Say this year they've seen more cases, more than 500 at this point. That's the most since the state began collecting the data on this 15 years ago. The virus is mostly showing up in school-age children, teenagers. It's put at least 50 people in the hospital, about 30 of them younger than 12 months old, and one person has died.
It starts off typically with symptoms associated with the cold. So you think of like a runny nose, you may have a fever, you'll have a cough, a cough associated with it at first, and then it progressively gets worse. And this is especially problematic for the infant population because they have a harder time catching their breath in between coughing. So that's why you see much more severe illness in the pediatric population versus the adult population.
Health department officials continue to remind you, wash your hands, make sure your child is up to date on their vaccines.
Last couple of days, we've been colder than average. Highs in the 30s and 40s, but we're on the upswing temperature-wise. Temperatures tomorrow in the lower 60s for about the southern half of the state. I'll have the rest of your forecast, including a look ahead to the new year.